What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Trivia. This week I want to give a massive shout out to Alex, as when he saw someone had submitted their own script for a series that they wanted to be done, he too has done the same, and he wanted the scrap archetype, so he's wrote the script and sent it in. So yeah, thank you very much Alex. Here we go. The scrap archetype first appeared in the Duelist Revolution booster set in August 2010, later getting support cards in Structure Deck Machiner's Command, Machina Mayhem Structure Deck, Starstrike Blast, Storm of Ragnarok, V-Jump Edition 3, Extreme Victory, and it concluded in Primal Origin in May of 2016. The scrap archetype is a series of monsters made out of rusty metal and old parts, as if given to life in a junkyard. The scrap monsters are split into two halves: the mythological fantasy creatures such as a chimera from Greek mythology or the golem from Jewish folklore, as well on the other side there are realistic, more modern approaches such as a soldier or King Kong. The scrap deck is a synchro deck based around destruction by card effects. So with introductions out the way, how about we dive into the scraps then? First off, we have Scrap Mind Reader. He's a level 1 Earth Machine type tuner monster with the effect once per turn while this card is in your graveyard during your main phase 2, you can select one face-up scrap monster you control except Scrap Mind Reader, destroy that monster, and special summon this card from the graveyard. If you do, remove this card from play when it's removed from the field. If this card is used as a synchro material monster, all of the synchro material monsters must be scrap monsters. Scrap Mind Reader is a reference to an oracle or a psychic, both of which were rather common in ancient settings. The old oracles in ancient Greek culture were devoted to the Earth Mother, which could be another reference to this card's attribute. Scrap Mind Reader is one of the two TCG exclusive scrap monsters next to Scrap ARCHFIEND. Scrap Mind Reader also has the lowest attack and defense of all the scrap monsters. And this card's parts look like things in a beauty salon: a shower head, hair heater, and a blow dryer. Next up is Scrap Searcher. He's a level 1 Earth Winged Beast type monster, and his effect is when a scrap monster you control except Scrap Searcher is destroyed and sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. When this card is special summoned, destroy all face-up monsters you control except scrap monsters. Scrap Searcher could be a reference to the Messenger Crows. A Messenger Crow was popular in the medieval times as a way of sending letters from one place to another, particularly castles or towns, and hence it works cheekily with Scrap Golem, to be sent from one field to another. Keep in mind, if you summon Searcher to the field, it will destroy all their non-scrap monsters. Scrap Searcher was the weakest Earth Winged Beast type monster in terms of its attack and defense until the release of Pendulum Mucho in May 2017. And Scrap Searcher appears in the anime exclusive card Scrap and Build. Scrap Worm is a level 2 Earth Insect type monster whose effect is this card can attack your opponent directly. If this card attacks, it is destroyed at the end of the battle phase. If this card is destroyed by the effect of a scrap card and sent to the graveyard, you can select one scrap monster in your graveyard except Scrap Worm and add it to your hand. Guys, from here on out, a lot of the scrap monsters have the effect: if this card is destroyed by the effect of a scrap card and sent to the graveyard, you can target one scrap monster in your graveyard except scrap blah blah blah, add that target to your hand. So because of this, we're just going to refer to it as the recycling effect from now on. It'll speed things up. Scrap Worm is obviously based on a worm, and this monster appears in the anime exclusive card Garbage Collection along with Scrap Shark. Scrap Goblin. He's a level 3 Earth Beast Warrior type monster with the effect this card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this face-up defense position card is selected as an attack target, destroy this card at the end of the battle phase, plus the recycling effect. Scrap Goblin is a reference to a goblin, of course, which are a European folklore which first appeared in the Middle Ages. This is also supported by the comic use of goblins in games and movies, as they don't generally go down easy when they're hit, just as Scrap Goblin can't be destroyed by battle. Scrap Goblin is tied for having the lowest attack points of all Earth Beast Warriors next to Zodiac Mole Murat. And Scrap Goblin appears in the artworks of Chain Ignition, Guts of Steel, Scrap Factory, and Scrap Sheen. Scrap Hunter. He's a level 3 Earth Machine type monster whose effect is once per turn you can select one face-up scrap monster you control except this card. Destroy it and send one tuner monster from your deck to your graveyard. Scrap Hunter is a reference to a mercenary or a hitman. Fun fact, Scrap Hunter is the same attack and defense as Gen X Searcher, another Earth Machine type monster. Scrap Beast. It's a level 4 Earth Beast type monster with the effect, if this face-up defense position card is targeted for an attack at the end of the battle phase, destroy this card. Also, it has the recycling effect. Scrap Beast is a reference to a wild beast, more than likely a saber cat or a wolf. The genericness of this monster is actually quite ironic, as in a way, Scrap Beast is the archetype's general tuner monster, so it can pretty much fit in with everything. Scrap Beast and Scrap Orthros are the only two level 4 Scrap Tuner monsters, and Scrap Beast appears in the artworks of Guts of Steel, Scrap Sheen, and Scrap Factory. Scrap Orthros is a level 4 Earth Beast type monster. His effect is this card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned by controlling a face-up scrap monster. When special summoned this way, select one face-up scrap monster you control and destroy it. It also has the recycling effect. Scrap Orthros is a reference to the ORTHROS, a two-headed dog in Greek mythology that was owned by the giant Geryon. It was one of the 3 opponents, along with the warrior Eurytion and Geryon himself, that Heracles opposed during his 10th labour. Scrap Orthros has a very similar effect to Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai. This is interesting, as both Scraps and 6 Samurais were in Storm of Ragnarok. However, neither Orthros nor Grandmaster were in that set at all. Scrap Chimera. It's a level 4 Earth Beast type monster with the effect, this card cannot be used as a synchro material monster, except for the synchro summon of a scrap monster, and all other synchro material monsters must be scrap monsters. When this card is normal summoned, you can select one scrap tuner monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Scrap Chimera is a reference to the Greek Chimera. However, it's not truly a chimera, as it has the head of a lion, the body of a Pegasus, and a snake for a tail. Mythological chimeras have a lion's body and head, a snake tail, and a goat's head on its back. Scrap Chimera is the only level 4 non-tuner scrap monster that doesn't have a self-destruction effect, and Scrap Chimera appears in the artwork of Scrap Rage. Scrap Kong is a level 4 Earth Beast type monster with the effect, when this card is normal summoned, destroy this card. It also has the recycling effect. Scrap Kong is a reference to King Kong. It has the same level, attack, defense, type, and attribute as Berserk Gorilla. Like Berserk Gorilla, this card also has an effect that destroys itself, but the circumstances for which it is destroyed is different. And this monster appears in the artwork of Chain Ignition and Gift Exchange. Scrap Shark is a level 4 Earth Fish type monster with the effect, when an effect monster's effect or a spell or trap card is activated, destroy this face-up card on the field. If this card is destroyed by the effect of a scrap card and sent to the graveyard, you can send one scrap monster from your deck to the graveyard. Scrap Shark is obviously based on a shark, and this card's background also contains polluted water, making sense considering its mechanical shark look, and there's probably a sea in the scrapyard it came from, maybe? I'm getting Clanker's Cavern references from Banjo-Kazooie here. Scrap Shark has the highest attack of all level 4 or lower scrap monsters, and has the highest attack of all level 4 or lower fish type monsters. Scrap Shark is also the second Earth Fish monster, with SOULEATER being the first. SOULEATER also has 1200 attack, while Scrap Shark has the reversed 2100. And Scrap Shark appears in the artwork of Garbage Collection. Scrap Soldier is a level 5 Earth Warrior type monster with the effect, this card cannot be used as a synchro material monster except for the synchro summon of a scrap monster. If this face-up defense position card is selected as an attack target, destroy this card at the end of the battle phase. It also has the recycling effect. Scrap Soldier is a reference to a modern-day military soldier, having a projectile launcher on his right arm and an American military-styled helmet. Scrap Soldier is also the only level 5 or higher Scrap Tuner monster, and Scrap Soldier makes an appearance in Guts of Steel. Scrap Golem is a level 5 Earth Rock type monster. His effect is, once per turn you can select one level 4 or lower scrap monster in your graveyard and special summon it to either player's side of the field. Scrap Golem is a reference to the golem from Jewish folklore. Golems were originally beings that were magically created entirely from inanimate matter, generally mud or clay. hence Scrap Golem is a rock type. Scrap Golem is also very similar to both Lava Golem and Grinder Golem, as all three golems have an effect to give a monster to the opponent. Interesting. And Scrap Golem appears in the artwork of Scrap Crash. Scrap Breaker is a level 6 Earth Machine type monster. His effect is, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. When this card is special summoned this way, select one face up scrap monster you control and destroy it. Scrap Breaker is the only level 6 scrap monster, and it also has the similar effect to Orthros of being able to summon itself if you control another scrap monster, then destroy a scrap monster. Scrap Archfiend. He's a level 7 Earth Fiend synchro monster with no effect. He is a reference to a demon or a devil, just like the Archfiend archetype itself. This is supported by Scrap Archfiend being a fiend monster and has horns and wings. Scrap Archfiend has the highest original attack of fiend type monsters without an effect. Scrap Archfiend also has 100 less attack and 200 less defense and 1 less level than Scrap Dragon, while Scrap Dragon's upgrades have 200 more attack and defense and 1 more level with each form. And Scrap Archfiend appears in the artwork of Scrap Factory, giving the iconic Terminator 2 thumbs up. I love that film. Scrap Dragon. Now, I've actually already done this card, so if you'd like to see the full version of this, then go to the link in the comments section below to check more on the Scrap Dragon, but let's just go over it just a little bit anyway. He's a level 8 Earth Dragon Synchro monster with the effect, once per turn you can target one card you control and one card your opponent controls, destroy them. When this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, and sent to the graveyard, target one non-synchro scrap monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. Scrap Dragon is the poster monster for the scraps. It also has an Xyz counterpart known as Diamond Dire Wolf, which ironically is also a compatible card in Scraps. And this monster appears in the artwork of Scrap Lube. Cheeky. Scrap Twin Dragon is a level 9 Earth Dragon type synchro monster whose effect is, once per turn you can select one card you control and 2 cards your opponent controls. Destroy the one you control and return the 2 your opponent controls to the hand. When this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, and sent to the graveyard, select one synchro scrap monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Scrap Twin Dragon is also another reference to a dragon. This card has 2 heads as it is described in the card's name. Also, notice that Scrap Dragon affects one of your opponent's cards, while Twin Dragon affects 2. And you're going to find this out soon, but Atomic Dragon affects 3, because it has 3 heads, 2 heads, and 1 heads. Awesome. Scrap Twin Dragon is tied for having the highest attack of all Earth Dragon Synchro monsters alongside Beast Eye's Pendulum Dragon, only beaten by its advanced form, Atomic Scrap Dragon. Speaking of, last but not least, Atomic Scrap Dragon. He's a level 10 Earth Dragon Synchro monster. His effect is, once per turn you can select one card you control and up to 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard. Destroy your selected card and return the opponent's cards to the deck. When this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, and sent to the graveyard, select one non-synchro scrap monster from your graveyard and special summon it. Atomic Scrap Dragon is a mixture of a dragon and a nuclear reactor. It has 3 heads and is the final evolution of the Scrap Dragons. Atomic Scrap Dragon has the highest attack of all scrap monsters and of all Earth Dragon monsters. And with that, guys, that's another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Trivia done. Again, a massive shout out to Alex for providing the information for this episode. You're an absolute legend. Don't forget to leave the video a like and catch you later.